Imagine being the most famous lawman in America, the man who took down Al Capone, only to be publicly taunted by a serial killer who leaves dismembered bodies in plain sight of your office. And you can't do a damn thing about it because his cousin is a powerful politician. The Cleveland torso murderer terrorized the city from the mid to late 30s. The killer always beheaded and often dismembered his victims, sometimes cutting the torso in half. In many cases, the cause of death was the decapitation itself. Most of the male victims were castrated and some victims showed evidence of chemical treatment being applied to their bodies. The number of victims was at least 12, but possibly over 20. They even brought in Eliot Ness, of Untouchables fame, to help with the investigation. One suspected individual was Dr. Francis E. Sweeney, a veteran of World War I who had experience conducting amputations in the field. Sweeney was personally interviewed by Ness and, during the interrogation, failed 2 early polygraph tests. The expert who administered them, Leonard Keeler, told Ness he had his man. Nevertheless, Ness felt there was little chance of a successful prosecution. Sweeney was the first cousin of one of Ness's political opponents, Congressman Martin L. Sweeney, who had publicly hounded Ness for his failure to catch the killer. Shortly after Sweeney was released, the killer taunted Ness by leaving 2 bodies within view of his office window. Another suspect was brought in for questioning only to be found murdered in his prison cell. In a desperate move, Ness ordered the shanty towns where the victims were being abducted from to be burned down. This act severely bruised his reputation, and he never recovered from it. Some even speculate the murderer was responsible for the Black Dahlia murder as well. What's truly chilling is that Sweeney was most likely the killer. The murders in Cleveland stopped right after he voluntarily committed himself to a mental hospital. He likely had help from his politically powerful cousin, who used his connections to keep him from ever being convicted. For years, until the day he died, Sweeney would send postcards to Ness and his family, mocking the famous lawman for never managing to bring him to justice. Justice doesn't always wear a badge, and sometimes the most terrifying monsters have powerful friends. What's the most frustrating unsolved mystery you've ever heard of? Share your thoughts in the comments.